Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is going to hit your reality like a punch you've been avoiding your whole life. Most people think wealth comes from luck, talent, or some magical opportunity waiting around the corner. Wrong. Wealth comes from one thing: discipline. The world wants you distracted, weak, lazy, emotional, and dependent. But the moment you choose discipline, the moment you decide to take control, that's the moment your life starts to bend in your favor. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't master discipline, you will never master money. But if you do, your discipline will make you rich. Not maybe, not someday, inevitable. People wake up every day choosing comfort over progress, excuses over action, and distraction over purpose. And then they cry about why they're broke, why they're stuck, why nothing changes. Here's your hook: nothing changes because you don't change. You can dream, plan, visualize, journal, manifest, but without discipline, every dream dies the moment life gets uncomfortable. Discipline is the unfair advantage. Discipline turns average men into unshakable machines. Discipline turns chaos into structure, weakness into strength, and time into profit. The richest people in the world aren't the smartest. They're the most consistent. They wake up when they don't want to. They work when they don't feel like it. They push through boredom, pain, fear, doubt, because discipline doesn't care about emotions. Discipline doesn't negotiate. Discipline doesn't beg you to grow. It forces you, and that's why it works. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're stacking invisible wins. You're building a version of yourself that becomes unstoppable. Wealth is not the reward. Wealth is the side effect of the man you become through discipline. You want money? You want freedom? You want respect? You want to walk into any room and know you control your life? Then you need one thing: a hardened mind trained through discipline. When other people sleep, you study. When they relax, you execute. When they doubt themselves, you bet on yourself. When they waste time, you multiply it. That's how wealth is built. Not in one day, but every single day you refuse to quit. Your discipline becomes your currency. Your discipline becomes your weapon. Your discipline becomes the reason people look at you and say, "How did he do it?" Here's the truth most people can't handle. Discipline is painful. It isolates you. It breaks you. It crushes your excuses and exposes your weaknesses. But that pain is the exact price of greatness. Every rep, every early morning, every sacrifice is a brick in the foundation of your future empire. Stay disciplined long enough and money has no choice but to chase you. Opportunities find you. People respect you. Life aligns for you. Because discipline creates a gravitational pull around success. You don't chase success, you attract it. Discipline is the foundation of every victory because it forces you to build a life that doesn't rely on mood, motivation, or perfect timing. Most people wait for the right moment to start winning, but winners understand that the right moment is created, not found. This is the hook that separates the powerful from the average. Discipline is the only thing in your life that guarantees progress, even when you're tired, confused, or unsure of yourself. When you build discipline, you build a system inside your mind that refuses to let you drift. You wake up with intention, you move with purpose, and you act even when every part of you wants comfort. And that's exactly why disciplined people dominate, because the world is full of people who want results but aren't willing to do the work when it's inconvenient. There's a brutal truth people avoid. Your feelings don't care about your future. Your emotions want comfort now, even if it destroys the next 10 years of your life. Discipline is the armor that protects you from your own weakness. It's the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more, and confidence grows from that proof. You can read hundreds of books, watch thousands of motivational videos, but none of it means anything if you can't command yourself to take action. That command, your ability to tell yourself, "Do it now," is what builds a wealthy, powerful life. Here's the hook. Success doesn't belong to the gifted, it belongs to the self-controlled. Think about the strongest individuals on the planet. They are not the ones with the easiest lives. They're the ones who built discipline in the face of difficulty. Discipline is forged in the moments nobody sees. Waking up early when your body screams for more sleep, choosing to learn when your mind wants distraction, investing your time when others are wasting theirs. These are the quiet battles that shape the loud victories. And the people who master these battles don't just achieve success, they evolve into someone who cannot be stopped. Discipline gives you an identity. It turns you into the kind of person who does the hard things without hesitation, and the world rewards that version of you with opportunities, respect, and wealth. Most people think motivation is enough to succeed, but motivation is a fragile friend. It's powerful when it's there, but it disappears the moment life gets uncomfortable. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care if you're tired, stressed, or not in the mood. It simply demands action. And if you obey it long enough, your life transforms. That's the hook people don't understand. Discipline guarantees progress. Even on the days you feel like giving up, motivation might push you for a week, but discipline builds an empire over a lifetime. Victory belongs to the disciplined because they are the only ones who consistently move forward. They are building when others are sleeping, learning when others are complaining, improving when others are making excuses. The world cannot ignore someone who refuses to quit, someone who shows up every day with the same intensity, whether they feel like it or not. Discipline is not just a habit. It's a lifestyle, a mindset, a personal code. When you adopt that code, every area of your life starts shifting upward. You stop chasing shortcuts. You stop pretending the process doesn't matter. You start understanding that every disciplined action, no matter how small, is a brick placed in the foundation of your future success. When you live with discipline, victory is not a possibility. It becomes a pattern. Success stops being luck. Wealth stops being a dream. Power stops being distant. Everything you want becomes achievable because you finally became the person capable of earning it. Discipline doesn't just build victories. It builds the version of you who never stops winning. Comfort is the silent enemy that keeps most people broke, not because comfort is inherently bad, but because it slowly kills the hunger required to build a powerful life. People don't realize how dangerous comfort truly is. It feels soft, safe, warm, and harmless. But that's exactly why it destroys potential. It convinces you that you have time. It whispers that you can start tomorrow. It makes you believe that your dreams will wait for you, even while the world keeps moving forward without mercy. And here's the hook most people ignore. Every time you choose comfort, you are choosing to lose. Not instantly, but gradually, quietly, and permanently. The man who chooses comfort today pays with regret tomorrow. The truth is, comfort is addictive. It traps you in routines that feel good but take you nowhere. You stay in the same job because it's familiar, even though it steals your ambition. You waste hours scrolling on your phone because it numbs your stress, even though it kills your discipline. You avoid challenges because they're uncomfortable, even though they are the only path to growth. Comfort becomes your cage, and the worst part is you lock the door yourself. That's the hook that should hit you. Comfort doesn't take your freedom. It convinces you to surrender it. The people who stay broke and stuck aren't suffering from lack of opportunity. They're suffering from an overdose of comfort. They want success, but they don't want to feel the pressure that comes with it. They want wealth, but not the discipline required to build it. They want freedom, but they cling to their comfortable chains. You cannot grow in the place that keeps you weak. Real transformation requires discomfort. Early mornings, long nights, hard decisions, sacrifices, failures, and moments where everything inside you wants to quit. That pressure is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It forces you to evolve, refine, and strengthen your character. Comfort blinds you to your potential. You forget what you're capable of because you've never pushed yourself to see it. Most people don't even know their true limits because comfort stops them long before difficulty ever arrives. And here's the powerful hook. Your dream life is always hiding behind the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Every breakthrough you want sits right behind a wall of temporary pain. The only reason you haven't grabbed it is because you keep stepping back when the pressure builds. Winners step forward. They run into discomfort because they understand that every uncomfortable decision today becomes an advantage tomorrow. The man who rejects comfort becomes a weapon. He transforms his body, mind, and environment because he refuses to let ease dictate his destiny. While others rest, he prepares. While others complain, he adapts. While others scroll, he studies. This mindset makes him unstoppable because discomfort becomes normal and normal becomes effortless. That is the secret most people never learn. The more you embrace discomfort, the less it controls you. What once felt impossible becomes routine. What once felt heavy becomes light. What once felt scary becomes exciting. Discomfort builds resilience. Resilience builds confidence, and confidence builds wealth. Comfort will keep you broke because it keeps you average. It keeps you soft. It keeps you dependent. But when you break out of that comfortable prison, even for a single day, you feel something powerful. Momentum. Momentum is the spark that starts revolutions inside people. It makes you hungry, focused, and disciplined. It makes you see the world as an opportunity instead of a threat. Every small action outside your comfort zone compounds into a bigger, stronger, more dangerous version of yourself. In all of this, comfort is easy to choose, but so is greatness. The difference is simply where you stand when life tests you. If you keep choosing comfort, you choose a life of stagnation, regret, and wasted potential. But if you choose discomfort consistently, ruthlessly, and intentionally, you unlock a future so powerful that people will wonder how you became unstoppable. Because the truth is simple. Comfort creates mediocrity, but discomfort creates millionaires. Consistency beats talent every single day because talent without discipline is nothing more than wasted potential. The world is full of people who were naturally gifted, smarter, faster, more talented than you, but they lost because they couldn't show up every day. And this is the hook most people never understand. Success doesn't reward the most talented person. It rewards the person who refuses to stop. Consistency turns ordinary individuals into exceptional ones. It takes someone with average ability and transforms them into someone unstoppable simply because they never disappear from the battlefield. Talent may give you a head start, but consistency ensures you finish the race. Every time you show up, even when you're retired, even when you're not motivated, you are creating momentum that the lazy and undisciplined will never catch. People think success is a sudden moment, a big breakthrough, a lucky opportunity. In reality, success is built quietly, in the background, through hundreds of small, consistent actions that compound over time. That's the hook that separates winners from dreamers. Consistent effort compounds into results so massive that people start calling it talent years later. But it was never talent. It was discipline in disguise. Consistency sharpens your skills in a way talent never will. When you repeat something every day, you learn its patterns, its weaknesses, its opportunities. You grow in silence while others waste their time searching for motivation or shortcuts. Consistency builds expertise, and expertise builds confidence. Confidence then fuels greater action. And that cycle is what creates success that cannot be shaken. People believe they need to feel ready before they start, but readiness comes from routine, not inspiration. You become ready through repetition. You become powerful through persistence. And here's the powerful hook. The person who practices consistently for 1 year will always outperform the person who practices perfectly once a month. The problem with talented people is simple. They rely on their gift. They think their natural advantage is enough to compete in a world where disciplined individuals are willing to outwork, outlearn, and outlast them. Talent becomes a trap when it makes you comfortable. You think you're special, so you stop pushing. Meanwhile, the consistent person keeps grinding, improving, evolving. And one day, the talented person wonders how the ordinary guy surpassed him. The answer is consistency, discipline, the ability to show up when others vanish. Consistency doesn't just build skill, it builds identity. When you show up every day, you become someone who trusts himself. You prove to your mind that you follow through. That self-trust becomes the foundation of all future success. You stop doubting your abilities because your actions show evidence of your strength. You stop negotiating with your excuses because you've built a routine that ignores them. People fail not because they lack potential, but because they lack persistence. They quit the moment results don't come instantly. They underestimate the power of small progress repeated consistently over time. Every rep, every page, every workout, every hour of focused effort is a deposit into the bank of your future success that should wake you up. Consistency turns you into a different person. Not just someone better at the task, someone mentally stronger, more resilient, more confident, more dangerous. You become a person who can't be manipulated by emotions, distractions, or setbacks. You become the kind of person others respect because they see you doing what most people cannot do. Show up every day, no matter what. That kind of consistency builds a reputation, and reputation opens doors talent never will. In the end, talent fades when it's not used, but consistency never stops growing. Every day you show up, you widen the gap between yourself and everyone else who take days off. Every day you take action, you build a future that others only dream about. And the reality is this: consistent effort, even if small, beats explosive effort followed by laziness. Because consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds mastery. The person with discipline becomes inevitable, while the talented person becomes forgotten. That is the power of staying consistent. It transforms you into someone success cannot ignore. Sacrifice is the currency of success. And discipline is what allows you to pay that price without hesitation. Every meaningful achievement in life demands something from you. Your time, your comfort, your habits, your old identity. And most people are not willing to give any of it up. They want the reward without the cost, the lifestyle without the struggle, the victory without the battle. But here's the hook that splits winners from dreamers. The world does not hand greatness to those who avoid sacrifice. It gives greatness to those who are willing to suffer for a vision only they can see. Discipline turns sacrifice into results because it forces you to follow through long after your motivation disappears. When you choose discipline, you are choosing a path that many will never understand. They will laugh at your routines, question your dedication, and call your sacrifices too much. But what they don't see is what those sacrifices are building inside you. Every early morning, you force yourself out of bed. Every hour you dedicate to improving your craft. Every distraction you eliminate is a brick in the foundation of your future success. Sacrifice is uncomfortable, but it is not punishment. It is preparation. It sharpens your mind, hardens your spirit, and molds you into a stronger version of yourself. While others choose what feels good now, you choose what will make you powerful later. That single decision changes everything. People often say they want to succeed, but the moment the path demands sacrifice, they retreat. They quit when it gets hard. They slow down when it becomes boring. They choose easy pleasures over long-term gain, and then they wonder why they never move forward. The hook they miss is simple. Success demands a price, and if you don't pay it, you stay exactly where you are. Nothing extraordinary comes from comfort. Nothing legendary comes from convenience. Every sacrifice you make today is a seed planted for tomorrow's victories. The man who sacrifices now walks into a future the undisciplined will never touch. Sacrifice also reveals your true priorities. Everyone says they want success, but their actions tell the real story. If you're sacrificing time to study, money to invest, comfort to train, and distractions to stay focused, then success becomes inevitable because your priorities are aligned with your goals. But if your habits revolve around cheap entertainment, comfort, and instant gratification, then you're sacrificing your future without even realizing it. Here's the powerful hook. You're always sacrificing something, either your future for your present or your present for your future. Discipline ensures you choose correctly. What makes sacrifice so transformative is that it builds resilience. You learn to endure challenges that would break ordinary people. You teach your mind that temporary discomfort is nothing compared to long-term greatness. You stop craving easy days and start craving progress instead. Sacrifice turns you into someone who cannot be intimidated by hard work because you've already embraced what others fear. You become mentally sharper, emotionally stronger, and far more determined to win because you've already given too much to quit. When you sacrifice for something, you develop a deep sense of ownership over your goals. You protect them, fight for them, and refuse to let anything derail them. And there's a deeper truth. Sacrifice creates opportunities success cannot ignore. When you consistently give up short-term pleasure, you gain long-term advantage. When others sleep, you build. When others waste time, you improve. When others make excuses, you make progress. Those small, disciplined sacrifices accumulate into massive results that look like luck to everyone else. But you, and only you, know the truth. Your wins were purchased with effort nobody saw. Sacrifice is not losing, it's trading. You are trading who you are for who you want to become. You are trading weakness for strength, distraction for focus, temporary pleasure for permanent success, and every disciplined sacrifice you make pushes you one step closer to a version of yourself that people will admire, fear, or follow. Discipline turns every sacrifice into a stepping stone, and those stones eventually form the path that leads straight to the life you once dreamed of. Your habits decide your future because your life is built on the small, repetitive actions you perform every single day. People fantasize about success, dream about wealth, visualize greatness, but dreams don't build empires. Habits do. The world is full of people with big plans and powerful intentions, yet only a tiny percentage ever turn those intentions into reality. And here's the hook that wakes people up. The future you want is not created by your desires, it is created by your daily behavior. Your habits are the silent architects shaping the life you will eventually live, whether you realize it or not. Most people underestimate how much control their habits have over them. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If your habits are weak, your results will be weak. If your habits are strong, your results become unstoppable. It's not the one-time effort that defines your future. It's the actions you repeat so often they become automatic. The way you wake up, the way you use your time, the way you react to stress, the way you treat your health, the way you handle money. These are the patterns that either push you toward greatness or drag you toward regret. Your future isn't hiding in a book, a course, or an opportunity. It's hiding in your habits. Habits build momentum, and momentum is the most powerful force behind success. When you repeatedly do the right things, even in small doses, your life begins to shift. You become more disciplined without even trying. You become more focused without forcing it. You become more confident because your actions consistently prove your strength. This is the hook most people miss. Habits change you from the inside out. They don't just affect your schedule, they affect your identity. When you build strong habits, you become the kind of person who succeeds naturally. The biggest mistake people make is believing they can behave like everyone else and still achieve results nobody else has. They waste hours on entertainment, gossip, scrolling, and distractions. They train their mind to crave instant pleasure. They teach themselves to avoid anything that feels like work. And then they wonder why they can't stay disciplined. Your habits shape your desires. Your habits shape your mindset. Your habits shape your discipline. And if your habits are built on weakness, your future will collapse under pressure. That's the hook. Your future isn't destroyed in one moment. It's destroyed slowly through tiny habits repeated every day. Habits also determine how you respond to opportunities. When a big moment arrives, undisciplined people panic or wait too long because their mind is not prepared. Disciplined people act immediately because their habits trained them to move. Success often comes down to speed, and speed comes from preparation. You move faster when your habits make action effortless. You think clearer when your habits eliminate chaos. You make better decisions when your habits strengthen your focus. The people who advance quickly in life are not the smartest. They simply have the habits that keep them ready. Every habit you have is either a tool or a trap. It is either building your future or building your excuses. It is either strengthening your discipline or feeding your weakness. You can lie to the world about what you want, but your habits reveal the truth. If your habits don't align with your goals will never become reality. It doesn't matter how much you want to change. Your habits must change first. The power of habits lies in their compounding effect. One small improvement repeated daily becomes a major transformation over time. One small decision to show up, to study, to train, to invest, to focus creates a ripple that expands into every corner of your life. This is the silent advantage disciplined people have. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on habits that push them forward even on the days they feel weak. Their habits turn effort into instinct. And all this is brutally simple. You don't get the future you dream about. You get the future your habits earn. Every day, you are casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Your habits decide whether that person is powerful or powerless, focused or distracted, successful or forgotten. Build the right habits, and your future becomes unstoppable. Keep the wrong habits, and your future becomes predictable, full of regret, missed opportunities, and wasted potential. Your habits are writing your destiny. Choose them wisely. Wealth chases the discipline because discipline turns you into the kind of person success cannot ignore. Most people believe money comes to those who are lucky, talented, or well-connected, but that is only a comforting lie the world tells itself to avoid responsibility. The truth is far simpler and far harsher. Money flows to the man who proves he can be trusted with it. And discipline is the strongest proof. Here's the hook that separates the rich from the rest. Wealth doesn't respond to wishes, motivation, or dreams. It responds to consistency, sacrifice, and relentless self-control. When you become disciplined, opportunities naturally gravitate toward you because discipline eliminates the weaknesses that keep everyone else stuck. A disciplined mind is sharp, focused, and impossible to manipulate. You see through distractions that pull others off track. You don't chase temporary pleasure because you're committed to long-term gain. You don't sabotage your progress with laziness because your routine keeps you accountable. This mental strength is rare, and that's exactly why discipline makes you powerful. People trust those who can control themselves. Businesses trust them, customers trust them, teams trust them, even life itself seems to trust them. That trust turns into opportunities, respect, influence, and eventually wealth. The hook here is brutal. Money flows to stability, not chaos. If your habits are chaotic, your results will be chaotic too. Discipline also gives you something even more valuable than motivation: predictability. You become someone who delivers results regardless of circumstances. While others complain, you execute. While others wait for the perfect time, you take imperfect action. While others stop because they're tired, you keep moving because you're committed. This consistency compounds into results that look extraordinary from the outside, but you know they were built through simple daily discipline. People will call it genius, talent, or luck, but you'll know the truth. It was discipline working quietly in the background. And here's the hook most people overlook. Wealth doesn't require perfection. It requires reliability. Discipline makes you reliable. The path to wealth is filled with distractions designed to tempt you into mediocrity. Easy entertainment, instant gratification, comfort, shortcuts, excuses. These things are free, but they cost you everything. The disciplined mind sees these temptations for what they are, traps built to keep you average. And because you can say no when others say yes, you gain an advantage that multiplies over time. You read when others scroll. You build when others waste time. You invest when others spend. You focus when others drift. Slowly, the gap widens. Eventually, it becomes unbridgeable. That's when wealth starts chasing you because you've become one of the few who actually deserve it. Discipline also protects you from the emotional decisions that keep people poor. Most people panic when times are hard, splurge when they feel good, quit when things get uncomfortable, and chase trends instead of principles. A disciplined person remains steady. You control your impulses instead of letting them control you. You make decisions based on logic, not mood. You stay focused even when the world is chaotic. This calm, controlled energy is magnetic. It attracts opportunities others are too unstable to handle. That's the hook. Calm minds create rich outcomes, and discipline is what keeps the mind calm. What people don't understand is that wealth is not just money. It is the result of habits, decisions, and behaviors practiced repeatedly over time. Every disciplined day strengthens the foundation your future will stand on. Every disciplined choice sends a signal to the universe that you are ready for more, and the universe responds. Not instantly, but inevitably. Wealth cannot resist someone who shows up every day with precision, commitment, and relentless focus. You become too consistent to ignore, too persistent to stop, too disciplined to fail. You don't chase wealth. You become the kind of person wealth chases. When you discipline your mind, your body, your habits, your environment, and your decisions, success becomes a natural extension of who you are. Money follows strength. Money follows clarity. Money follows discipline. And once you build that level of discipline, wealth doesn't just find you, it stays with you, grows with you, and elevates every part of your life. You become the exception in a world full of excuses. You become inevitable. So hear me clearly. Your future is not written in luck, talent, or chance. It's written in your habits, your routine, your discipline. You either control your mind or your mind controls you. You either build your life or your life happens to you. Wealth is not something you pursue. Wealth is something you earn through discipline. And if you commit to discipline starting today, relentlessly, aggressively, without compromise, I promise you, your discipline will make you rich. Not just in money, but in power, purpose, and respect. The world belongs to the disciplined. Make the decision. Become that person. Your rise is inevitable.